welcome to 360, my people. How are you doing over there? Welcome to the program. We have a lot to talk about today. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're still going to do it. Got some stuff to talk about. My first question is to ask you, how is everything is going on with you in Nigeria? How you guys been coping with all this petrol price going up, dollars going up, pounds, everything going up, the food price? How you guys been coping from your home to your work? How you been hanging in there? I know it's not easy. I've talked to a lot of people, everybody just complaining. I understand. But my question is, what are we going to do? We are all in one chance. Before we enter this one chance, we all talk about it. Try to make sure we don't fall into the trap of this politician. But I realize many people don't like the truth. They just want somebody that's going to lie to them, and they are okay with that. Well, for some of us that we are not okay with that kind of situation, we have to speak the truth. I know sometimes the truth is bitter. Some people don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. We have to say it. If we don't mention it, if we don't say the truth, we're all going to suffer for it. I know that one for sure. So because of this, I want to thank every one of you that's watching me, wherever you're watching me from. How are you doing? How is everything over there? I greet you all. I say welcome to 360. For the meantime, before we get into the deep situation of today, let's a little bit enjoy the music. I want to talk about the Labour Party case in tribunal, and I also want to talk about the list, the ministerial list that our new president gave out to the National Assembly. I want to talk about something. In that list, I give some kind of kudos to the Mr. President. 50% kudos, because I say kind of reflection of the young people in that list and the women. So when we see something good, we have to talk about it and say this is good. Even though we haven't know how those people is going to perform, some of them we haven't seen their performance before, but that's fine. At least they are new faces, young ones and the women, which is good for the country. But 50%, the rest 50% is bunch of this, the same gin in a different bottle. So I don't believe them. I don't want you to believe them. Don't fall for their trap. And if you try to believe them, trust me, you are your own. Don't say we did not tell you before. So don't believe them. Don't fall into their trap. If you do, you're on your own. I'm going to play you music. We're going to enjoy the music a little bit, and then I'm going to come back. Let me give you the music from the Lagbaja. Credit to the Lagbaja for this music. Not do gra gra. I'll be right back to you guys.
You better mind yourself, oh, boy. No do gra gra for ya. Baby, no do gra gra for me. Oh boy, mind yourself, no do gra gra for ya. For me.
You dey fumble,
I dey look and not talk.
you dey shout,
I dey speak and not talk.
you dey spray,
Adeluku àná
Spray your
tán.
mouth anyhow.
Adefẹ́ ká náà sí ẹni.
You dey yarn no pattern.
Adeluku àná tán.
You dey demo.
Adefẹ́ ká náà sí ẹni.
Like e kung fu.
Adeluku àná
You
tán.
just dey mesca form anyhow. You dey jump up and down like a jangilova. I dey try make I no vex, make we no fight gidigbo. But if you try me, I na vex your mama no go know you again.
Boy, no do blah blah for here. My friend, no do blah blah for me.
Politicians promise anything, make you no believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you no believe in them. Politicians promise anything, make you no believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you no believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth to know they. Inside their eyes, corruption they. Inside their heart, wickedness they. Once they get into power, now when the time for gain, now in their brain, then we type one man will change. In the name of change, why? Change.
In the name of change. Everything they tell you, never believe them. Don't listen to them. If you do, you on your own, like I always said. You see all these politicians, they will tell you anything. Trust me. Anything. Anything they said, you don't believe what they said. They are always lie. You know, like I said, everything always looking good until you listen to the politician. Don't listen to them. If you do, you on your own.
Politicians promise anything, make you no believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you no believe in them. Politicians promise anything, make you no believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you no believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth to know they. Inside their eyes, corruption they. Inside their heart, wickedness they. Once they get into power, now when the time for gain.
Inside their heart is nothing but a lie, okay? They always come with Ojoro abracadabra. They will say anything, okay? But like I said, I give the kudos to the president for the list. 50% kudos for the list that he submitted, you know. But at the same time, we see all this bunch of other people that they are not even supposed to be in the power for now because of the situation of Nigeria. What they put the Nigerian is people like El-Rufai, Wike, you know, I see all those lists as like a payback, you know, trying to compensate them for what they do during the election, to rig the election and do the abracadabra, in my opinion, for him. So I believe he does that just to compensate them, because if he don't compensate them, he knows these are the people that rigged the election for him, and they can come out and turn everything upside down. They can come out and say the truth about how they rigged the election if he did not give them the ministerial post. So they knows that. That's why he compensated them. He compensated El-Rufai. Imagine El-Rufai of Kaduna, that everything that's happening in Kaduna, the killing that's going on in Kaduna when he was in a governor, he can't do anything about it. And now you were expecting someone like him to do something in the ministerial power. When he was in the command of a state, that he make a call, he don't get the command from anybody or the approval from anybody. He don't perform. But now that he has to get the approval from the president himself, how do you expect him to perform? So people like that, they are just bunch of lunatic that will just run in this country. Okay, so I don't see anything from there. Imagine you move from the college back to the high school, being a governor back to the ministerial, from ministerial to the governor, from governor back to the ministerial. These people are not even ashamed of themselves. They don't feel ashamed. Just to tell you that they don't care about the masses. They only care about themselves and their family. Are you telling me that in the whole Niger Delta, in the whole River State, there's no one that the Wike can present for nomination for this ministerial to say, look, go represent me. I've worked for these people. I've done something for them. I'll nominate you. I want you to do this job. So you telling me in that region there's nobody, no smart person, no one that is smart or good enough that we can nominate after he just finished 8 years in power and enjoy all this immunity. But he has to nominate himself. Just to tell you how greedy they are. The same thing Rufai also. So there's nobody in their state that can be the hard working or can even do better than them. There's no young one. There's no. Just imagine. So just to tell you, these people, they don't care about you, about me. They just only care about themselves. That's why I'm asking you. How much did you buy the gasoline in your area? How much did you buy the petrol? Your electricity bill now, the food, the rice, how much is it now? We all in it together. I got video to play for you about the Labour Party that is going on in Tribunal. I know people don't pay attention about it anymore. There's something really, really important that is going on. It's what to watch because people might not pay attention about the Labour Party case in Tribunal. But it's very, very important. Okay? I know the APC are trying to do everything in their power to pull down the judiciary so that the judiciary don't do the right thing. But at the same time, we just have to keep our eye on this ball. Okay, let's keep our eye on the ball where it's rolling. I have this video for you. It's like a 12 minutes long video. It's worth to watch. It was made up together with Net Media. Net Media is one of these this guy that always analyze everything that come out of the court for us. He do a lot of great job, a lot of good job. So I give the credits to the Net Media. For those of you that's watching me, you can subscribe to his YouTube. His name on YouTube is Net Media, and he has a Facebook also. He always analyze a lot of things for us. So please, before I play this video, please watch this video. Take your time. Please share this program. We just come to this program live. Share it, like it, let your people join us. And if you want to join the program live, you can call me to 817-677-8210 on WhatsApp only. You call the WhatsApp only 8+1 817-677-8210, and then we can talk about it. You can share your own idea about what is going on in the country, how you feel, is everything is okay, what you have in your mind. Let's share the idea and let people enjoy from our own idea. So for the meantime, I'm going to play this video for you. Just watch it, and then I'll be right back after this video, and then we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about the situation that's going on in our country. Thanks for watching me and pay attention. Watch this video. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm still your guy, Mr. Opinion.
Copies of Forms EC8A being copies of their own party agents. This will hopefully put to end the constant question, why didn't Labour Party submit their own political party agents to prove they won? You can see that they submitted 3 types of documents: the ones that INEC gave them, copies from IREV, and the physical copies, the ones that are referred to as hard copies, plus their own party agent copies. Before we analyze all this, let's update you on happenings at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. The respondents were supposed to submit their final addresses yesterday, and yes, they did that, but it was done after the close of work. So no party can actually get the certified true copies from the court so that people can see what they wrote inside, how they replied to the many questions and issues raised by the petitioners. And without seeing what they wrote inside, how they replied, no one can make any analysis. So that will be hopefully on Monday when work will resume at the court. And on Tuesday, all parties will assemble in the court for the adoption of addresses. After the adoption of addresses, the court will either state the judgment day or they will communicate it after. Yes, when the court adjourns after the adoption of addresses, they will only reconvene to deliver judgment. It is not expected to be more than 2 weeks. They will deliberate on many issues, on all the prayers sought by the petitioners. The petitioners include PDP, Labour Party, and the APM. So it will take quite some time for them to go through all the evidence, all the reliefs one by one, and how they apply and interpret the law. The work of the judges is to interpret the law, but lawyers also help them to form their opinion. They also conduct their own research. If you look at all the final addresses by the petitioners' counsels, you will see that a lot of research went into writing the documents. And a lot of people might be confused how many addresses the respondents have to make. Well, it's very simple. The petitioners, Labour Party, PDP, APM, brought INEC, Tinubu, APC, and Shetima to court. So after the hearing stage, the respondents had to address the court. They had to go through all the issues raised by the petitioners. They had to address them one by one. All the arguments they raised against what the petitioners said are contained in their first final address. And after that final address, the petitioners now have the right to reply to all the issues they themselves have raised. So after the petitioners have countered the respondents will now have a final opportunity to respond to their counter, which was exactly what they did yesterday. They submitted their final address. That's the final response to what the petitioners countered. Yes, and at this stage, it stops. The court will now take it from there. They will look at all the issues raised by all the parties to find out who has the superior argument based on the points of law. They will now enter into serious deliberations, to determine all the questions, all the reliefs sought by the petitioners, to see their merits based on law and the evidence before them. Now, let's look at the impact of the more than 10,000 copies of Forms EC8A that Labour Party tendered in evidence, alongside the more than 18,000 copies from IREV that are blurred that INEC stamped and certified and gave them. INEC should have replaced those blurred copies with the hard copies that they claimed to have used in collating the results. But they didn't, despite some of these results being blank, as in plain sheet of paper. They just stamped all of them. But Labour Party actually turned their strategy around to their own advantage. The reason INEC withheld evidence is simple. They don't want to bring the evidence that will prove that they did the wrong thing in court. This is why if you read their final reply, you will see that they are arguing that Labour Party failed to prove they won the election, that they believe that the plea has been abandoned by Labour Party. So their strategy was withhold evidence, starve the petitioners the evidence that they need to prove their case, and tell the court, they failed to prove they won. But it backfired seriously because Labour Party now told the court, since uploaded results on IREV are the same thing with hard copies, then whatever INEC certified and brought to court should be taken as the real thing. Yes, even their witness accepted it under cross-examination. So Labour Party turned their strategy around to their own favor. If the court agrees that truly, yes, they are the same copies, so if you submitted blank copies and blurred copies, that means the results can't stand because no one can collate any result without seeing the figures. Now, back to how we discovered this massive evidence tendered by Labour Party in court. INEC, in one of the objections that they made about the admissibility of some of the documents tendered by the Labour Party, while going through the objections, they made these objections while making their final address. In paragraph 2.05, they said, as earlier stated, the exhibits in question, that is, purported certified copies of Forms EC8As, EC8Bs, EC8C, EC8Ds, and EC40Gs issued to the petitioner's respective agents, both from the polling unit level, ward level, local government level, and state level, were all tendered from the bar. We submit that there is no evidence on record that those documents were made by those through whom they were tendered before this honorable court. So in essence, they are just fishing for technicality. They are telling the court that since the Labour Party did not call those party agents or the polling officers who wrote the results or the collation officers who wrote them and gave the Labour Party agents their own copies, that they should be the ones to speak to the documents in court in evidence. Yes, it's quite laughable. They couldn't defend anything. They couldn't counter the results that Labour Party submitted. They couldn't even replace the blood copies. In some cases, they were just blank copies, empty sheets. So since they failed to counter any of the results, the court will definitely make their decision based on the results before them. And they are thinking that, hey, since we didn't submit, the court will say, you failed to prove. The entire proof is before the court. So in essence, on Labour Party's side, what they did was to provide majority of the results that are hidden in the more than 18,000 blood copies. So based on average vote in this presidential election per polling unit, it's about 140 to 150 votes. So let's just make it a flat figure. About 10,000, let's assume that Labour Party got 100 per polling unit. That's already more than 1 million votes that were hidden by INEC. So despite the fact that the petitioners have proved non-compliance by INEC in a substantial way, the court might also look at the fact that Labour Party actually won the election. That the reason INEC blocked upload of result sheets on election day was because they wanted to block the votes of Labour Party. So you can see the reason why they provided their own copies is to prove to the court that INEC didn't even use hard copies to collate the results. So if the law says upload results to IREF for comparison at different collation levels, and you fail to do that, and you come to court and say it was a glitch that prevented you from following the law, that despite not following the law, that it didn't affect the results because you used hard copies, and with the evidence before the court, you didn't collect the results with the hard copies because they don't tally. So in this instance, what will the court do? They will simply work with the evidence before them. Assuming they decide not to cancel the election despite seeing that there was substantial non-compliance by INEC. Yes, the non-compliance affected the outcome of the election. We are talking about up to 20 million votes unaccounted for by INEC. Upon all the people that came out to register for their PVC, upon the massive crowds that came out on election day to vote, they still could not account for more than 20 million votes. The people voted. It's not that they didn't vote. The evidence is there that they voted, but INEC cannot account for them. They didn't bring evidence. They just brought blood results. Assuming many of these places that are blood are the strongholds of Labour Party. Sometimes when you see results from strongholds of Labour Party, it will seem as if the other parties are not even in the race. Sometimes you see Labour Party scoring 600, while the second party will be about 10 or 20. These number of votes, although they didn't release them, might be up to 2 or 3 million for the Labour Party alone. So we don't know. Also, the respondents don't have them because definitely when they are tendering this evidence, they will just serve them the summary before tendering so that they will know what they are tendering in court. So the respondents don't have the numbers. If they had, one of them must have mentioned it in one of their replies. That's sure. So if the court decides not to cancel the election because of the cost implication of conducting a fresh election, they will simply work with all the evidence before them. None of the respondents countered any evidence tendered by the petitioners. Yes, it's surprising. Imagine arguing that the passport has expired. So for that reason, that the citizenship has also expired. Imagine that kind of argument. So just like they didn't even argue anything about the forged certificate. No counter, nothing like, hey, no, that's not real. That's not his. He didn't submit this. Nothing like that. Someone accused you of forging a certificate. You have nothing to say except submit school records. It is completely irrelevant. So they failed to counter anything. Even the forfeiture, they kept arguing that it was a civil forfeiture. Meanwhile, the petitioners didn't say that it was a criminal forfeiture. They were saying that truly it's a civil, but based on money laundering and narcotics trafficking. So it will take a miracle for them to escape this. All the evidence tendered by the petitioners, none of them, they didn't counter any one of them. Many people don't understand what is going on. You see, The disqualification of Tinubu is no longer a matter of if, it is a matter of when. Yes, it is that solid. The evidence is overwhelming, none was countered, and the judges must form their opinion based on what is before them. They must work with the evidence. They must calculate the figures that Labour Party submitted, that INEC hid in the blood copies. They must add everything together. Of course, they must have done the work for them so that they can now say, yes, this is the person that actually came first. We are adding all the figures together. They hid them, they did that. So the judgment day definitely will be celebration all over Nigeria. Thanks for watching.
All right, welcome back to the program. Like you all know, like I tell you, there's a lot that is going on in tribunal. People don't pay attention anymore because the reason is the new administrative try to make it look like everything is okay. They are having the pressure. Trust me, there's a pressure on APC and Tinubu's people because the situation of the tribunal now is not what they're expecting. So they are trying as much as possible in their power to shut it down. They first intimidate the judiciary, one of these judges in the tribunal, to resign because if that judge resign for any reason, it means the case is over because they have to set up a new panel of judges. It means they have to begin again. But because of the constitution, there's a time frame. They know that time frame is not going to be able to allow them to be able to do everything. So it means they're going to throw the case away. But most of those judges, they push back. The reason why they're trying to push back is because majority of the situation, the international people are pay attention into Nigerian situation. People don't know that. People might not know that because Nigerian is the heart of the Africa. Many international nations pay attention in the Nigerian situation than many other parts of the country because Nigerian control and removes the economic of the Africa. Many people don't know that. You see, the gas and everything might be so expensive in your area, but trust me, in the international body, they know how important and valuable Nigerian is in that region, in that continent. So they pay attention on the situation that is going on in tribunal and everything. They are watching. They have a body language. Okay? Even though they have their own personal interest, at the same time, they're still watching. So many Nigerians already forget about the tribunal because of the situation of what is going on in courts. Some of them has lost their belief or their trust in Nigerian system, so they already focus on the situation that is going on in Nigeria. So because of this, like I always tell people, I will tell you that Nigeria is a lawless country. Every one of us watch how the DSS handle the Emefiele. As just to tell you that the country is ruling by the people that don't care about the rule of law. They are nothing but a group of cultists. These people, in my opinion, they don't care. Forget about the rule of law. The rule of law is not applied to them. But if they want to deal with anybody, they will use that same rule of law. But when that rule of law turn around and say, okay, when you want to arrest Emefiele, you come to court to get the order. But now when the court say, okay, let Emefiele go to this so place to remind them, but you say no, you go against that the same rule of law. That's to say that they don't care. If you think they care about rule of law, they don't care. That's why everything in the country is not working. That's why the system is not working. Because they have to set up rule of law, one for the poor people and one for the rich and the politician. The system is not going to work in a country like that. That's why the INEC can do anything they want. They can rig the election. Nothing will happen to them because the law is not applied to them. That's why the politician can rig, they can kill for the election, and they still go free. Nothing will happen because it's not applied to them. The law in the country is not applied to them. When you see any politician being arrested in Nigeria, it's not that he's arrested because he broke the law. No, he was arresting because he intimidates the people in power. So whenever any government comes to power, they use the state power to go after any of their enemies. Anybody they can feel like this is one of our enemies, they just use it to go after them. It's not that the rule of law is plain. No, it's not that that person broke law or not. Only the court of law can say somebody broke the law. Okay, the DSS, the police might say you broke the law, but that is allegation. Only the court of law can say yes, truly you broke the law. But in Nigeria, they don't even need to take you to court before they say you broke the law, you're guilty. When the DSS arrest Emefiele, I thought they're going to charge Emefiele for terrorism or money laundering or bribery or anything pertaining to what he did during that last regime. But guess what? They only arrest Emefiele for holding a gun. They said the gun is not registered, unregistered gun. You know, the one they call Sakabula. A gun that they can find it in the hand of many people in Nigeria in the streets. Even they can find some that is better than the one that Emefiele have. They can find it in the hand of the people like Asari Dokubo. Those militants. They don't register for it. They don't register for those guns, but they can have it. Because all those people work for the government. The militants work for the government. They said it out. They both, Asari Dokubo was able to bold enough to come out to say, yes, now I'm working for Tinubu because I've set my own army for Tinubu. So now we have two different armies in Nigeria now. We have Nigerian army, then we have Asari Dokubo army. So Nigerian army has to get the command or the control for Asari Dokubo armies. So Nigerian army has to get call from the Asari Dokubo's armies. Just to tell you how bad it is. Everything is bad. Okay, I watched the video on YouTube. How they run fandu the Emefiele. So fortunate. I can't believe it, but it is what it is. Let me play that video for you if I can find it. Give me a second.
Go. Let's go. Center, right? We consider center, sir. Let's go. They're already shouting us.
Just watch how he say the power always change hand. Imagine how the Rofandu, a CBN governor, somebody that's been in the corner of power, somebody that they've been protecting for a long time, somebody that the police have protect, the DSS has protect, they have worked with him, they have followed him, travel around the country, travel out of the country, follow him to different places, to the presidential villa. So now he now becomes somebody that they are Rofandu, somebody they are pushing around in the name of own a gun. They don't charge him for terrorism, they don't charge him for money laundering, just owning a Sakabula, the gun that they say is not licensed, Sakabula gun, just to tell you how pathetic the country is, how pathetic these people is. So now the DSS and the correctional officers now fighting on who is going to have the custody of Emefiele. Just imagine that. when the judge said, let Emefiele remain in custody of the correction office. That is the law. That is the judgment of the judge. That is the final. But the DSS said no. You see, every one of them, they always cover their face. So whenever you see any police people cover their face trying to cover that, they are nothing but the tools for politicians. They are nothing but a secret court police. Only a secret court police cover their face whenever they want to do something bad. They want to do something illegal. They can't even show their face. They have to cover their face because they are not a real DSS that work for the Nigerian people. They are DSS that was set up for the politician to use to intimidate the opponent. That is what they do. The DSS in Nigeria has nothing good to do other than just using them to intimidate opponents or a citizen. A DSS supposed to be the superior above the police. They are supposed to be superior above the police, the DSS. So it means the DSS supposed to be the one that the police can report to. In Nigeria, the DSS is supposed to be the equivalent of the FBI of the United States. But the DSS in Nigeria are not the same equivalent of FBI because the DSS in Nigeria are set up just to use them as a political dogs to attack the opponent. That's what they design them for. They don't design them to do the intelligence job. Imagine the DSS never do the intelligence to find out where the Boko Haram living, who are their sponsors. They never find out stuff. But the DSS can say, oh, we find out that Emefiele is been sponsored the IPOB. And then when they arrest Emefiele, I thought they're going to charge him for terrorism of sponsoring the IPOB or terrorism. But they did not. Why? Because they don't have any facts. Because they just lied to Nigeria in public. But behind the door, behind the closed door, in their own filing, it's different case. That's kind of the group of the government parastatal that's controlling the nation. They're an attack dog. Whenever you see the DSS, they cover their face, then to block their face so that people don't see them. Anybody that does that in the paramilitary, they are nothing but the political tools that they are used, attack dog, that they don't want people to see their face. If they are doing a legitimate job, you don't need to cover your face. You are doing a legitimate job. Okay, the correctional people, they don't cover their face because they are doing the legitimate job. They are doing their job. They are there to pick up whoever the judge says should remain in their custody. They don't have to cover their face. They are not the one who asks any criminal to remain in their custody. That is the judge that make a claim. So their job is to pick that criminal, take it to their own custody. If the police come to arrest you, they don't have to cover their face because they are doing their legitimate job. You break the law, the police walk into your house, they arrest you. And then they charge you to court, you defend yourself. If you win, you go home. If you not, they send you to where you're supposed to. But whenever you see the DSS covering their face, you should know that they are nothing but a bunch of criminals that was set up by the government to use as a political dog to attack the opponent. That is what the DSS does. You will never see DSS arrest any party, any member of the present administrative people. Anybody that is part of the present government, the DSS will never arrest them. They are just an attack dog. They are not a relevant or reasonable part of the paramilitary or the police or force that's reasonable in Nigeria. They are useless. One of the agents that are useless in Nigeria, one of them, is DSS. They are just a useless body. When the DSS arrests someone, they will arrest someone, they will take it to court. Why did you take somebody to court when you know that you're not going to obey the court of law? You don't have to take them to court. When you arrest somebody, just keep them in your house. But if you take anybody to the court, it means you want the court to make a judgment, to make a proclaim. So whatever the court says, you should be able to obey that. But they never does that. That's what they do during for the Omoyele Sowore when he was arrested. Every time the courts make a pronounce, let this guy go for now, that they never listen. The same thing in Nnamdi Kanu. When the court say let him go, release him, they say no. So why did you take him to court when you know you're not going to obey the court of law? Just leave it there. When you know you're not going to obey the court, don't take him to court. Don't even let his members or his lawyer even come to court. Like I said, people always argue with me. I call a Nigerian nothing but a LLC. Nigerian is nothing but a company that's owned by a group of people. That's why I always say, welcome to Nigerian LLC. Everything that's going on in Nigeria is like something that's going on within the company. When people in the company suffer, it's the same way the Nigerian citizens are suffering. Everybody are complaining they can't even go to market to buy anything anymore. How much did you buy the petrol in your own area? How much did you buy the kerosene? Food, rice, cement, everything going up. But the income never go up. The salary never go up. But if we say the truth, some people will come against us. They will say, hey, we're trying to attack the present government because we are in opposition. But I always ask them, are we not all in it together? We that were criticizing the government, did we buy the petrol in a different gas station that's different to yours? You that not criticize the government, did you buy your own petrol in a separate gas station? Did you buy your own food, your own rice in a separate place? If you say because you are Yoruba and you support Tinubu, are you buying your own rice in Bodija that's different to what I bought in the Bodija? Are you buying your own petrol separate places that's more cheaper than how much I bought mine? We are all in it together. When you think, oh, okay, these people are just criticizing a new government, fine. That's why we are here, to criticize, so that the new government or whatever the government in power will know what to do and do the right thing. If we can criticize them, we can do the right thing. This is one of the reasons we are criticizing them. If anybody can come out and say, well, I'm an APC member, I bought my own petrol in a different gas station for 400 naira. Let that person come out and tell us. Every group of people that campaign for the APC during the election, that say, either you are Yoruba or wherever you come from. 90% of them now, they are too ashamed to come out and talk. They are feel ashamed to come out because they know if they come out and talk, people will criticize them. Some of them are feel ashamed, they have to hide their face, hide their head. Because they are going through the same, everybody's going through too. Because every one of them buy the petrol in the high price too, buy the food and everything in the high price. And they keep telling us, oh, let's be patient, let's be patient. See, when people die every day of hunger, every day people's business fall down because they can't afford to buy the petrol or to go to the office or go to their place of business. Because some of them will go, nobody will come to buy them anything. And they just spend the money to go to their place of business and come back home with empty hand. Some people even close down the business. And they keep telling us, let's be patient, let's be patient. Like I said, in my own opinion, you don't necessarily to believe what I said. You don't need to align with me. But, hey, I have right to my own opinion. Everyone have right to their own opinion. Okay? I've shared my own opinion based on what is going on in Nigeria. You might not like it. What is your own opinion? Okay? If anybody wants to call into the program, plus 817-677-8210. You can text me on WhatsApp. You can call me on WhatsApp to share your own opinion about what is going on. You are free to do so. I want to touch. I'm going to do a program later, because we all know on this program we only talk about the politics. On this particular program, I only talk about politics, about what is going on in Nigeria. But I'm going to come back later and do a program, talk about the religion, the effect of the religion in Yoruba land, especially in Yoruba land. The effect of religion in Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land. What the religion might cause. Because it's time we need to start speaking about it. If you want to believe in religion, just try to believe in religion. Don't force any other person to believe in what you believe. But it's time we need to start talking about it. I'm going to do the program about the religion later. I have a question I want to ask about the religion. And if anybody can give me the answer about it, I have something to give it to them. I'm going to do that program separately. And if anybody have a question, answer to answer me about that, I'm going to come out and give that person something I'm not going to mention now, because this is not the religion program. So we come back to our own program. For the meantime, like I always do, I want you people to enjoy the music just for a few minutes, and then I'll be right back to you before we end up the program today. If we see anybody that want to call in for this program, that want to talk to us, you can call in, share your own opinion. For every one of you that's watching me, wherever you're watching me from, I thank you. I really appreciate you. Please share this program, like this program, comment on this program. Let us hear your own opinion. We all have different opinions, but comment on this program. Let me hear what you want to say. Like I always said, I'm not a blogger. I don't pre-record my program. I come to the program live. I share what I have in my mind. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. I just share my own mind straight, okay? So it's not a pre-program, it's a live program. I share my opinion based on what I know, what I see, or what I read. So it's not about trying to be a blogger, social media blogger, trying to, kind of follower, it doesn't matter. So enjoy the music. When I be right back to you guys.
Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth to know day. Inside their eyes, corruption day. Inside their heart, wickedness day. Once they get into power, now when the time will gain, now in their brain, then we type one man will change. In the name of change, why? Change. They combine those with change. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them.
Welcome to the program, Queen Apostle.
Then say make you vote for them, make you shine your eyes, oh. Then promise us water, we don't see. Up to today, we don't see. We not they get water. Yes. They promise us light, we don't see. Up to today, we don't see. We not they see the light. At all. They promise us road, we don't see.
Never believe them, like I always said, okay? If you believe the politician, you're on your own. I can see you, Queen Abosede. Welcome to the program. Even though I've said a lot of things before you coming, but that's okay. We're talking about the Nigerian situation, as you can see. I already opened the mic for people that might want to call in to say one or two things about the Nigerian situation, that want to share their own opinion. Sometimes people want to share their own opinion about what is going on in Nigeria, but because they are too scared to put their face out there, because they don't want the Nigerian state to come after them. Okay, I understand. I know every time anybody come out to say the truth in Nigeria, before you know the next day they will knock your door. Say like, okay, you said something yesterday, and then they pick that person. So I understand, but some people want to share their opinion and they want to say something. Or they know something that they don't want to say it in public, or they don't want to put their face out. So this program gives people chance, to call in. You come to this program. If you don't want to show your face live, you can call on WhatsApp. It's WhatsApp number +1 817-677-8210. You call in, you share your opinion, what is going on in Nigeria, how you feeling. Every one of us is feeling the pain, okay? Share your opinion, let people hear you. That's okay. At least you will say that you share your own mind. People hear your voice, They don't need to know who you're calling from. What's your name? You don't need to mention your name. You don't need to say anything, But it's good. I give the room for the people that want to call in and share their own opinion, okay? If you want to, only on WhatsApp, okay? WhatsApp, because I'm using WhatsApp because of many people that might be watching from different country, or that might be watched later from different countries. So that's why I'm using WhatsApp, and so they won't be buying cards. You call it. You call us through the WhatsApp, which is good. For those of you that always send me a message or DM me, I will find time to reply you after the program. Please bear with me. I usually see your message, so I will try as much as possible to reply you. So, like I always say, I give a little bit 50% kudos to Mr. President for the list of the nominees for these people that he nominated for the ministerial rooms. That 50% is because we have some group of women and young people in that list. That is why I gave him 50% kudos. Other than that, the remaining 50% is so terrible. It's horrible because the bunch of people that was there are the same group of people that we already have in the system before that never do anything good for Nigeria. You all knows them. I don't need to start repeating their names. The short man from Kaduna is there. And then the talkative of the, what is it called? River is there. So all those people, what did they do? What benefits did they brought to Nigeria? What did they do that make the impact in Nigeria? Nothing. They are just a bunch of the group of people that just like the power. So that's why you always see them in the corridor of power. They like power. They want to be empowered. And those power, they never use it to benefit anybody. All they can do is talk. Like the short one from Kaduna, what did he do? When he was in power, they killed many people in Kaduna. He do nothing about it. The same thing, the talkative of the river. All he do is be talking about the flyover. He's so fortunate and funny that every time the governor in Nigeria do something that's supposed to be normal thing, they want to commission it. They want to let everybody to know. In a country like the United States, when you see the people building the road and you see the thousands of flyover, thousands of interstates, bridge, nobody commissioned those things. Nobody give a shit about it. Because that's the job of the government. Even most of those bridges was building by the council. Not even by the state. Most of them built by the city. The biggest one we built by the county, which is called local government. And the biggest one might be built by the state. Nobody commissioned it. Nobody have time for that. Because that is their job. That is what the taxpayer pay them for. But in Nigeria, if they build one, let's say one borehole, they want to commission it. A governor will build one just hospital. He wants to commission it. But that is the country we find ourselves. There's nothing we can do about that, okay? It's so pathetic, but the truth is true. There's nothing we can do about those situations. For every one of you that's watching me, I know some people are so frustrated, no, they don't want to talk. I can't blame them, you know. But the question is, how are you guys feeling? What is the situation in your own country? Is everything good the way it's supposed to? Okay? In your own area, in your own environment, how much is things? How much did you spend from your home to your workplace, to your office or to your workshop or to the market? How much are you spending now? What is the incomes? See? But it is what it is. We can't. We all use our hand to find ourselves in this situation. That's what I can say, because before we put these people in power again, after Buhari has done us shaggy, we talk about it. People campaign. We said, please, let's do something different. Don't let's just keep doing the same thing. Buhari has come as doing all this for 8 years. What is the benefit? Let's change the direction of this country. The country is going south. Don't believe what these politicians are telling you. They are just lying. They don't care. Their own children and their family is not going to suffer. But because of the service interest from some group of people, especially my people from Yoruba side, they say, oh, because it's the hope of 1993. So what kind of hope? When Buhari is coming to power in 2015, he told us that they are bringing change. We did not ask him what kind of change. He brought change to Nigeria and everything changed to South. This one too, telling us hope. What kind of hope? We did not ask them. What kind of hope is bringing? Is that the hope that we're going to sit on hope for 8 years when we are still suffering like we have hope? We have hope it's going to be good for good 8 years. But because we are too selfish to say, okay, it's my body, it's from Nigeria, it's from Yoruba tribe, I have to vote for him, or it's my religion type. Now welcome to the power. Baba is in power now. How is he doing with you? Is your salary go up? Is your employer pay you more? Because everything going up, all the price go up, did your employer pay you more? If your employer don't pay you more, and you make it the same amount you are making before everything going up, that means you're on your own. That's why people are crying, because everything, the price of everything going up, but their own income don't go up. But the same elective official can increase their own money, can increase their own incomes. They can buy themselves new bulletproof Jeep when Nigerians are suffering. Well, it is what it is. Like I always said, welcome to Nigerian LLC, a company that owned by a group of people. I call them a group of thieves. Judicial thief, legislative, executive. They are all a bunch of thieves in Nigerian LLC because they are the board of trustees that control the Nigerian company. So, I want you to enjoy the music a little bit and I'll be right back. Don't go yet, hanging in there. I'm still your man, Mr. Opinion. Please share this program, like this program. If you have anything to contribute or you want to say, call the number on the screen. +1 817 677 8210. Call us on the WhatsApp and then share your own opinion. That's fine. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what is going on in your own area. And let the people hear it. And I'll be right back to you.
Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them.
Mr. Adegoke, I see you. Welcome to the program.
Make you not believe
I appreciate
in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth to know. their heart. Wickedness they. Once they get into power, now when to then go gain. Now in their brain, then we type one man will change. In the name of change, why? Change, change, change. They combine those with change. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. If they say make you vote for them, make you look well, well. If they say make you vote for them, make you shine your eyes, oh. They promise us water, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. We not they get water. Yes, yes. They promise us light, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. We not they see the light. At all, at all. They promise us road, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. Jaga Jaga road we they see. Yes, yes. So promise then they make. When election done they come to deceive the people. Then go they promise this and that. Then they lie on them, they lie, yo go go. Then they lie for federal. Then they lie on them, they lie for state level. Then they lie for Africa. Because they get police when they guide them. They lie police go they support them. Because they get lawyer when then they give bribe.
All right. Welcome back to the program. Before we go today, I want to appreciate every one of you that's watching wherever you watch from. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, I thank you. I appreciate you. For those of you that's watching me on Instagram, I appreciate that. And some of you that are watching on Facebook, I appreciate it. So, for those of you on Facebook, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, the same name, 360 Opinion. And then you can check on the Twitter, 360.opinion on Twitter. On Instagram, the same thing, 360.opinion on Instagram. And on Facebook, 360 Opinion. You can subscribe to it. It costs you nothing, you know. It's just a kind of appreciation. It costs you nothing. And then you can put on notification just in case whenever we come on live program, you can be notified. And then you can watch the live program, then you can join the live program also. And and let's do it together. It's our own country. We can't stop speaking. If we stop speaking, the people in power will think everything is okay. We need to keep talking. We need to keep hammering them. That is how they will know that things are not right. And then they can think how to fix it and how to do right. So that is the main important of it. So a lot of people, when something happens, they don't want to talk about it anymore. Guess what? If we don't talk about it, they don't know it's happening. So we have to keep talking until it reaches people in power so that they can do something about it. When Nigerians are suffering and people are not speaking, the people in power will think everything is okay because they are not feeling that pain. Okay? The elected officials are not feeling that pain. They buy their own fuel from our own money. So they don't know. Their own children are not feeling that pain. We the one that has to be speaking out and louder so that they can hear us. So, and for those of you that don't share the same idea or opinion with my own opinion, that's fine. That's the good thing about this program or about the democracy. I have my own different opinion. You have yours. So that's the good thing. If everything I say on this program, if you don't believe it, or if you have a different opinion, that's okay. You can come to my DM or my program, you can message or you can make your own comment or you can come on or live on program too. You yourself can set up live program and share your own opinion, contrary opinion, so that people can hear you, they can hear my own opinion and let them make judgment. And for those of you that share the same opinion as mine, that we have the same opinion that align to each other, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, I really appreciate you. Then follow me on Twitter, my Facebook page, and my Instagram. You can see them on the screen. the same name, 360 will always show you. Even if you don't know it, once you type 360, you will see that logo that will tell you what you're looking for. Please share this program, like this program. I appreciate you for today's program. I'm going to come back on live program. I'm going to do the program for the religion. Talk about the religion and Nigerian people, okay? What is going to happen in Yoruba land about the religion. So I have a question for the Christian people that know they are real Christian. I have a question, very important question. And if I can find anybody that can answer me in that question when I do that program, I'm going to do that program not here. But when I do it, I'm going to ask question. When anybody can answer me on that question, I don't have much to promise, but I promise that person $100. Wherever the exchange rate is in $100, I promise that person. But that question will be on the next program, which is the religion program. Not this one. This one is a politics program. We talk about our country. So I thank you. I appreciate every one of you for today's program. We're going to come later on the next time, and then we're going to do the program again. If you have any concern, please DM me. For those of you that already sent me a message, after program, I'm going to check that message, and I'm going to try as much as possible to reply you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I'm still your guy, Mr. Opinion. Never right, never wrong. Everything I say on this program, it's my own opinion. You can't hold me for that because I have a right to my own opinion. The same way you have right to your own opinion. I see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.
Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth to know they. Inside their eyes, corruption they. Inside their heart, wickedness.